Hello everyone, my name is Julie Harding and I am doing my reflection for week 3 for text 301. This week we've talked about the next part of the Web 2.0 applications that come. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Wikis application. You can coordinate with others on different things. You can also edit and save things on there. And so that's basically what wikis do for you. Some examples of wikis are Wikipedia, Peanut Butter Wiki, and Wet Paint. Those are a couple different ones that you can do. So Wikipedia is an encyclopedia where people can actually go and edit on there. It has like articles, things in the news. There's links that are on there to particular days of the month. So you can look on what they have for you for each day of the year. Peanut Butter Wiki is a collaboration site so you can work on projects with others. Wet Paint is on articles on famous people that can help you stay up to date with things that are happening in society. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the social bookmarking. And what this one does is it what I was going to say there for a minute. What you could do is you can have, after you have like a lot of websites, you can link them together for like your favorite websites that you want. You can link them together. You can add tags to them so that you can say specific things that you want them to say. You can add like descriptions of the different websites that you like, all on like your favorite ones. And so that way it can all be linked together in one website, and it's easier for you to be able to find them on there. A couple of the examples are delicious.com, Diigo, and Sklug. Those are some of the different ones that you could do. The Diigo is very similar to Delicious. It's where you can gather links that you can bookmark, and you can use them whenever you need to. So all of the sites are bookmarked. Delicious.com is the most popular one that a lot of people like to use on there, basically because you can tag things on there. And then Sklug is another one that you can also gather your links and you can bookmark them. That's why it's social bookmarking. So that's one there. The next one I'm going to talk about is Evernote. Now, Evernote is really awesome because it helps you to be able to save up some space. So you can put large attachments or documents on there onto the website, so it's saved basically in the cloud. And that way, you don't have to have them on your laptop or like on a flash drive because they're rather large, so they're going to take up a lot of space. So Evernote helps you to be able to save space. Again, you can do large attachments on there. You can do photos. You can also do like audio files. And you can share them with other people as well on there. And then one of the best things about Evernote is you can access it wherever you go on any device that you like. So that's really fun to be able to do on there. The big thing is saving you some space because we all need to save space on our computers, especially being teachers. And then the next one is blogging. See my little blogging sign right there. So blogging is where you are going to basically type whatever you want to tell the world and share with them, or just share, you could share with just your family. I think blogging would be great to use in a classroom so that maybe you can do an assessment on whatever you're reading, or on your math, assignment that, you wanted to know that the kids understand. And so they can actually type it up and put it on a website to be able to blog. Some of the famous ones are Blogger, WordPress, and LiveJournal. Those are the ones. It's really easy to create blogs, and it pretty much tells you how to do it on there. So Blogger is one, and that's www.blogger.com. And then WordPress is the WordPress.com, and LiveJournal, www.livejournal.com. You can share stories, give advice, exchange ideas as well. So there's a couple different things that you can do there. Google Handouts is a fun place where you can have conversations with individual friends or family or even students if you wanted to do that. You can have conversations in groups, so you can have your students do group projects, and then they can collaborate with each other all at the same time on Google Handouts. And you can have like video talk time. So, that's where I would use it. If I was to use it with students, I would do the video talk time on there with a group of friends. That way, or people on your project. That way they can all collaborate with each other, know what's going on, share ideas, stuff like that. And especially if they need some extra time, away from the classroom to work on the projects. So that's really good right there on there. And it's just really great that you can sync your conversations to all your devices, so you can tap into any of your conversations wherever you go. So that's a great thing right there. One of the biggest things that we learned about this week is the flipped classroom. There's my flipped classroom right there. And there's a couple of different things that go along with the flipped classroom. There's the technology pre-learning. There's the reading and writing part that you can do. There's a classroom assistance, and there's the enrichment activities that you do in the classroom, active participation, and there are limitations as well to a flipped classroom. So with a flipped classroom, the technology pre-learning is where the students are required to learn all the materials outside of the classroom. So before they come to class, they need to read all of the material and the lectures that the teachers have provided for them outside of the classroom. So it's not something that is organized inside the classroom at all. The students have to go to class prepared. They need to be prepared to ask questions about things that they learned or things that they don't understand or some things that they're really struggling with. They need to be prepared to ask those questions in the classroom with the teachers. So it's all done online. The pre-learning part is done online, where the teachers post instructions for the students to access at home. So you're doing all of your learning online at home, all of your learning. You're not doing homework assignments. You're actually doing the learning. Instead of a teacher being in front of the classroom instructing you, you are doing it all on the computer there. And the reading and writing part, what students must do is they must read their textbooks and do all the research outside of the classroom. And then the teacher can ask the students to write down questions they have or reactions to the reading or what the students have done or learned while they're inside the classroom. So there's just a couple of reading and writing activities that you can do with your students. That way you have an understanding of what they're learning. And then the classroom assistance is where in the classroom the teacher and the teacher's aides can help the students on a one-on-one basis. They can also work on projects in the classroom that has to do with their learning that they learned online with all of their pre-learning that they did. And sometimes the class can have discussions about what they read. So you can do like group activities, stuff like that. Enrichment activities that you can do in the classroom are hands-on projects. I absolutely love to do hands-on projects because it's so fun for the children to learn. They can get their hands right in there and get a feel for what's going on. You can take students on field trips. You can do lab work. Those are different types of activities that you can do because you're having a flipped classroom. So inside the classroom, you have one-on-one, you have group activities, you can have small groups, you can have hands-on activities, stuff like that, but you're actually not teaching. You're just working on all of these different types of group projects. And I think that the enrichment activities really help students to do good with their class assignments. That way they're getting all the reading and stuff done outside of class and being prepared to do an activity in the classroom. The advantage of a flipped classroom is active participation. So students get to learn all their material at their own pace, which is really great for some students. Some students are going to be faster than others, so they need to be able to read at their own pace and learn at their own pace from the readings, looking at the material online, and watching videos that are required to do for that. And then students get to use technology on a regular basis. And so it gets easier for students to use it and learn the technology because it's something that is required to do the course. You can access your flipped classroom on any device that you have, so you can even access it on your cell phone, which is really great for students, especially if they have to ride a bus home. They can look online and be reading some of the material or writing some notes or stuff like that, because sometimes we don't always have a lot of time at home to work on stuff. But they have that extra time to be able to do it. And then there are some limitations of a flipped classroom. Age is a big thing. Younger students are going to have a harder time with a flipped classroom just because it's a lot of parent involvement and teacher involvement that you have to have for younger kids to be able to learn. It's also harder for them to remember the next day what they learned, to be able to bring it in the classroom and you can talk about it and they can have questions on that. I personally don't think it would be great for younger students just because they forget a lot. Plus, they really need that teacher interaction to be able to help them learn, not just doing hands-on projects. So I don't think that it would be suited for younger students. They will need a lot of guidance, and especially with the technology, because they don't know how to use computers fully yet to be able to get the full capacity. And then a lot of their parents are working, and so if they're not home to help them, they're not going to be able to get their work done. So I think it's just better that the younger students stay in the classroom. And then the one thing that is if students are not motivated to do all of their reading and their work and study outside of the classroom, it's going to be harder for them to learn and be ready the next day with questions and working on projects in the classroom because they're not going to know the material if they're not motivated enough to do it on their own. It reminds me of our courses while we're doing them online. You really have to be self-motivated to work on your assignments and get all of your reading and everything done on time. So if you're not self-motivated, it's going to be a struggle to be in a flipped classroom. And it's a struggle for us as well if we're not motivated enough to do our own work. But the thing is the teachers are going to have a consequence if the students do not do their reading or watch the videos and stuff outside of the classroom. They're going to need to have a consequence inside the classroom in order to be able to teach them that, you know what, you got to do your work outside of the classroom. The next one is Khan Academy. There it is. Khan Academy has different things that you can do. It has videos that help students. So if you are needing something, an assistance with something, you have to have videos to be able to help you. And that's great, so you can see a different perspective on that. It has quizzes there that you can do, and it has practice problems that you can do as well. And so if you're struggling with a question on a test, then it will give you a hint or a video that can show you how to do it. It will also provide you with recommended practice problems that you can do or recommended assignments that you can look at and you can click on and it will help you walk you through it to be able to do the different programs there. So that's something that you can consider using in your classroom is Khan Academy. It's really neat to be able to watch and see. I liked watching it. I will not use it to replace myself as a teacher because I need to have some interaction with my students. So I can use it as a resource like in small groups. You know, when we do like break off in small math groups or small reading groups, we can get on there and if there's an activity that goes along with what I'm teaching, then they'll be able to practice on the computer for extra practice. So that's how I would use it there. Sometimes I would use a video maybe to show the kids in whole group, you know, so that they can see a different perspective from another adult. But I would not let it replace me because I'm excited to be up there to teach my students. So that's very important there to use it as a tool. Then the next thing is TED Talks. Oh, TED Talks. So TED Talks has a lot of videos on there that you can watch. You just type in the search for a topic that you want, and then it will pop up a list of videos that you can watch. You don't have to watch them all, but you can watch some of them. They are actually quite inspiring videos, so I really like that. It can help a teacher or a student generate ideas on how to do things in the classroom. and on other topics as well. And so, classroom management is something that was on there, and, there's like different things that it talks about. And so I think that's a great place to be able to look for videos that could help you in the future. And we learned about Web 2.2 applications. Wow, there's a lot of information on Web 2.0 applications and a lot of tools you can use, not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. And you can also give students resources that they can use to be able to do their studies and to work on projects. So there was a lot of examples that you can use. I looked up a website, it's for education, the best of 2017 for education resources. There's like 25 on there. I just picked some to be able to share with you. Quiznetic is where teachers can create games for students to use. You make up a set of questions and you build your game where your students race each other. So that would be fun. Students like to race each other. And they can join on their own devices and they answer the questions and then they're able to play. And so that's really great. It's quiznetic.com, quiznetic.com. So that's one of them I thought would be really fun to be able to create. Maybe we can even create a game in this class and show each other. You never know how that works. And then there's AutoDraw is another one that I was interested in. It says you can create a drawing by an artificial intelligence who has guesses for you to do. So you can do a guess and you can write a description, download it, and share your link with others. So that's autodraw.com. That's just some different things there that you could use. Story Shares is another one. And that has where you can have students read books. There's an option to have an audio to read to the students. So that's great on different books that you want to choose. And then you can actually have your students write their own books and publish their own books. How exciting is that? They can actually write their own books. And so that website is www.storyshares.org. I really like that idea of having students write their own books. Maybe you can have them write a book on all of their math concepts that they made for the year, and just do it little by little, and at the end they can publish it, and then they take it home to keep it. So that might be fun as well. Verse is one where it allows you to create videos. So that could be fun for students to be able to create videos as a group project. Maybe they want to do like a play, and they can play it out and put it on the video, and then we can all see it, stuff like that. So that's verse.com. That's verse.com. And then those are just a few examples that I got. The website that I got it off of, all those off of for the best 2017 was larryferlazzo.edublogs.org. And here it is right here. There's that website that I found these different interesting ideas. There's more on there that you could use if you would like to. These were just the ones that I liked. So that is my reflection. A couple of questions that we needed to ask is, do you think tools like blogs, wikis, social networking, social bookmarking, Khan Academy, and Web 2.0 applications are applicable in the classroom? And I would say yes, they are applicable. You can use them for different types of things to do with your students, to use like for a form of assessment. You can also use for like comprehension, so you know what they're understanding on it is there. Different things like that. I think it would be a great tool to be able to use in the classroom, but not to replace yourself as a teacher. How could they be integrated in the classroom to enhance the experience? Well, like I said, there's several different things that you can do. You can have them write stories and they can share stories. You can have them work on group projects, maybe do videos, do blogging, link their different websites together so that it's easier for them to find, or even have like on delicious.com, have a bunch of websites that the kids could use that you need to have them to be able to access throughout the year for different types of things. And then, and I pretty much told you all the way through the videos the different links and the websites and stuff that I liked. So that is my reflection for week 3.